Test, test, test. Flow audio check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Today's Linfield Athletics webcast is being brought to you by our many fine community partners, including Imbold Credit Union and Pacific Office Automation, Farnham Electric and Les Schwab Tires, Old Trapper Beef Jerky and Willamette Valley Medical Center, by Oregon Mutual, Rock of Ages Retirement Community, and Quail Custom Homes, Dutch Bros, Muchas Gracias, and Marsh McLennan Insurance, by Grain Station Brew Works, Alpine Kitchen, and Loft and Lies, Davison Auto Parts, Firehouse Subs, and 3 Point Brand Management, by Life Care Center, Oddmo's Pizza, and Federated Insurance, Sport Clips, Textile Graphics, and Giraldi's East Coast Deli, and by Hangry's Burgers and Fries and Marjorie House Memory Care, by Trek Physical Therapy, and by Botton's Equipment and Event Rental. Linfield University Athletics broadcast are a production of the Linfield Sports Network and delivered to you live on Flow Sports. Today's Linfield Athletics webcast is being brought to you by our many fine community partners, including Old Trapper Beef Jerky and Willamette Valley Rock of Ages Retirement Community and Quail Custom Homes, Dutch Bros, Muchas Gracias, and Marsh McLennan. Davison Auto Parts, Firehouse Subs, and 3 Point Brand Management, by Life Care Center, Oddmo's Pizza, and Federated Insurance, Sport Clips, Textile Graphics, and Giraldi's East Coast Deli, and by Hangry's Burgers and Fries and Marjorie House Memory Care, by Trek Physical Therapy, and by Botton's Equipment and Event Rental. Linfield University Athletics broadcast are a production of the Linfield Sports Network and delivered to you live on Flow Sports.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into Ted Wilson Gymnasium. Says we are ready for some Northwest Conference women's basketball action. Highly anticipated matchup between the reigning Northwest Conference champion Whitman Blues and your Linfield University Wildcats. Joe Stewart and Brian Keiss here with you live on the LSN on Flow Sports. Doesn't get to be a better way to start January than this, Brian. Two of the best teams in the Northwest Conference going head-to-head here.
Oh, yeah, Joe. They're both ready to get after it this year. Going to be a great year for both teams. One of these teams going to be really, really good going into conference play. And one of these two teams could probably win the conference. So a really good indicator as to what's to come for the rest of the season here tonight.
And both of these teams trying to avoid their first Northwest Conference losses. Wildcats 1-0 against NWC opponents. The Blues already 3 NWC wins under their belt. Both trying to stay unbeaten in league play. We got it coming up for you next right here on the LSN on Flow Sports.
Growing from one man with a tool cart in 1920 to a successful contracting firm employing dozens of professionals today, Farnham Electric Construction has expanded to meet the needs of its diverse clientele. Farnham Electric's service-minded approach has guided the company into the computer age, where it remains on the forefront of the latest in electrical contractor technology. Yet, no job is too small. Farnham Electric can wire or repair complicated industrial equipment, install your home theater, or simply replace a faulty switch in the bathroom. Learn more at farnhamelectric.com.
Old Trapper Beefs. Camp Cravings.
There you go, buddy. Have fun.
This is not going to be pretty.
We're camping. What could possibly go wrong? No.
Cool.
That did not go as planned.
It never does.
All right.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
So do you have a favorite bobcat?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, that's my jerky.
Whether you're a professional contractor or a do-it-yourselfer, Botton's Equipment and Event Rental is ready to help. Need a skid steer loader, excavator, trencher, or dump trailer? How about a reach forklift, man lift, or compactor? Botton's has it. And check out the supply of party needs, including luxury restrooms, wine glasses, tables, chairs, canopies, and more. Stop by Botton's Equipment and Event Rental on Lafayette Avenue in McMinnville, or view their full inventory at bottonsrental.com.
Are you new to Yamhill County or looking to make a change in your dental service provider? The experienced and friendly staff at Evans Street Dental will take time to get to know you and learn about your individual needs. Dr. Natalia Ramsey and her staff combine personalized care with the expertise to get to the root of any dental concern. Evans Street Dental offers Linfield students, faculty, and staff a 5% discount on all services. To schedule an appointment, call 503-472-1402.
Growing from one man with a tool cart in 1920 to a successful contracting firm employing
3 Point Brand Management, proud apparel supplier of the Linfield University Wildcats, is your one-stop shop when you need branded apparel, promotional items, and portable displays. Call 503-620-3410 or visit their website at 3-pt.com. 3 Point is creative, 3 Point is competitive, and 3 Point is resourceful. 3 Point Brand Management, 503-620-3410 or 3-pt.com.
At Inbold Credit Union, we believe our community is made stronger by the roots we plant and the dreams we hold. Dreams that grow tall and strong, empowered by the banking, lending, and savings tools you need to improve your life, your family, your community. Because the biggest dreams grow from the deepest roots. Come join us at Inbold Credit Union. Rooted here since 1957.
Giraldi's, McMinnville's own East Coast style deli, has been owned and operated by the Giraldi family since 1983, featuring hot and cold New York hero sandwiches, pizza, pasta, and calzone, salad, and desserts. Specialty sandwiches include the spicy Giraldi, New York meatball hero, and the chicken parmesan. Every Giraldi's meal is served with love. Giraldi's, located directly across from Linfield University at the corner of Brockwood Avenue and Highway 99W.
Just to be nice to somebody is so easy. It doesn't take much to just make somebody happy.
When you go to work with a customer, just show them the love and kindness that everyone else has shown us.
You know, if you see a need and you can find a way to fulfill it, you should.
I just believe that people, no matter who you are, need somebody. What you do every day matters.
Life Care Center of McMinnville. Champions live and work here.
What is happening?
Just like my
So we'll run through those again for you here. For the Whitman Blues coming tonight, 8-4, 3-0 in conference play. A fresh lineup after graduating quite a few seniors last year on their way to the NWC title and NCAA tournament. For the legendary head coach, Michelle Ferens, in the backcourt, it is Morgan Montgomery, the freshman from Boise, as well as the 5'9 junior from New Zealand, Holly Morgan, 5'10 sophomore from Wakanda, Washington, Emelena Baker, and the 5'7 junior bringing some veteran presence to the lineup out of Ferndale, Avery Neal. In the middle is the 5'11 junior from Othello, Brianna Andrade. For the Wildcats and 11th year head coach, Casey Bunn Wilson, same backcourt that we've known this season. Of course, the first team All-Northwest Conference guard junior out of Canby, Allie Mead, joined by the senior two guard from Loveland, Colorado, Amelia Solt. On the wing, Eve Burke, Mickey Vermeulen the forward, and Skylar Stewart and Brian Few on the call on the tip. Wildcats went 0-3 to the Blues last year. Of course, the third loss in the Northwest Conference Tournament semifinal, where Linfield was going back and forth with them in that game for the entire first half, before the Blues pulled away late to advance to the NWC Championship on their own floor, where they eventually punched the AQ for the Northwest Conference once again, graduating key players like Corinne Baker and Carly Martin. Last win for the Wildcats against this program, usually tops in the NWC, was the first meeting of the 23-24 season as the mid-range jumper goes for Avery Neal.
Yeah, Joe, and this is a team that has had that experience in the past. They've got some new faces out on the court, but this is still a team that is really, really going to go after you on offense and defense, a perennial team in the Northwest Conference. And these are probably, like I mentioned at the top of the air, these are probably going to be the two teams that you really want to look out for as Northwest Conference gets underway in the next month or so.
Morgan on the left wing. Going to get it down low on, and Baker rattles in the basket to make it 4-0 Whitman here early on. Again, Whitman coming in tonight 8-4, Wildcats 8-2. Willie here getting the start tonight, gets her first points of the night and makes it 4-2. Wildcats going to show some pressure now. As ball comes flying into the scorer's table here, Wildcats able to break up the play there. Whitman will retain possession. Whitman won their first two games of the year before losing their first two home games of the year to St. Thomas and University of Wisconsin-Platteville. They've since then gone 6-2, including 3 straight wins to start off Northwest Conference play. As that won't go, Mead able to get the long rebound, and she'll push the pace here. Allie Mead kicks it out, Vermeulen. Burke thought about the three, she'll drive instead. Mead penetrating, kick out to Solt, 3 on the way. And rebound out of bounds. They're going to say off of Skylar Willie. The 3 straight wins for Whitman coming into tonight, including 74-39 domination against their Eastern Washington rivals Whitworth on Tuesday night, Brian.
Yeah, and a good confidence boost coming into this weekend slate. A couple of tough teams down here in Oregon along the I-5 corridor. But, I mean, again, you get those teams at the beginning of conference play for the Blues that they're going to get those wins, and then they're now going to come down to Oregon and be contested for a couple of days, and this is really where they're going to start to see that competition. They've had a pretty decent schedule so far, but come conference play, and the Oregon schools are really going to give them those tests that they've been looking for to start their season and now going into conference play.
Willie able to hit the first of 2, drawing the foul off the nice dish from Amelia Solt. Gets them both. We're tied at 4. Wildcats, of course, last time we saw them, way back on December 12th, or December 5th. No, that was December 12th. The Simpson win. And looks like we had a brief shot clock issue there. The officials are going to talk about this one. But Wildcats winners of 4 straight, and starting with that win against Simpson. Followed that up the next night with a pretty impressive win over the then number 22 team in the NAIA, Corbin. Then went out to the Hoops in Hawaii Classic right before Christmas. Came away with solid wins against McMurray and Knox, and kind of blew the doors off of Knox in that last game of the tournament with all 5 starters finishing in double digits to win 82-59. Linfield, the 2 losses on the year at this point, both the teams then in the top 25. East Texas Baptist on November 24th and Wisconsin Oshkosh on December 5th. Linfield has gotten back in the flow of things despite those 2 losses, and certainly with a win tonight would establish themselves as the team to beat in the NWC here in the early goings of the conference slate.
Absolutely. And you go to Hawaii, you have a couple of really good games, of course. In that win against Knox, Solt, Hookema both dropped 15, Meade, Burke with 13, and then Mickey finishes with 10 as well. So all 5 of their starters with double digits in that one. But Hookema, Meade, Burke all with 7 rebounds against Knox as well. And that's one of those games where you really put it all together and you come back to the mainland and have a really good confidence boost coming into Northwest Conference play again.
Nice read there by Avery Neal at the top of the perimeter. Finds Andrade just as the shot clock expires. Whitman takes a 6-4 lead. Foul here on Morgan Montgomery, the freshman out of Boise. Averaging just about 10.5 points a game. Blues led by Holly Morgan's 11.1 a game. Brianna Andrade also averaging just under 11 a game. The 3 leading scorers in double figures for the Blues on the season. Solt off on the 3. Back the other way with the freshman Montgomery once again. Emelena Baker, post move, can't get the shot to go. Offensive rebound for the Blues. And now Linfield forcing the turnover.
That's something to watch here tonight. Both teams force a lot of turnovers, and unfortunately they both do turn the ball over a lot. So those possessions are going to be really important for both sides, but particularly for Linfield. They got to really move the ball around really well, and that shot selection is going to be important, especially on the perimeter for them tonight.
As well as avoiding unforced errors like Amelia Solt's travel there. 6-4 here in the early minutes. Neither side establishing themselves much so far. Blues are 3 of 6. Linfield 1 for 4, and it's going to make it 8-4 now. On the basket by Avery Neal. Blues have had time to shake off the winter break rust. With their 3 conference games, Vermeulen too strong on the 3. Wildcats again have not played since December 22nd. 4th game in the last 7 days for Whitman tonight. Vermeulen with the rebound. Burke able to survive the strip, goes up with it, gets her own miss, and now she will be fouled. With 4:14 here to go in the first quarter. We'll see the foul on Avery Neal, second against Whitman, or third against Whitman in this opening frame. We'll take our first break of the night. Blues out to the 8-4 lead here in McMinnville.
Grain Station Brew Works, located in McMinnville's craft beer brewed on site. Grain Station Brew Works.
And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster and know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Thank you.
She is 56.
Back here in McMinnville, Oregon, where Linfield basketball on the LSN, brought to you in part by Les Schwab Tires. Get more with less from Les Schwab Tires. 8-4 our score here, 4:14 in the first. Eve Burke going to the line, who is our player to watch tonight for the Wildcats, Brian.
Yeah, Joe, and in 10 games, 10 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 5 assists on the season, 47% from the field, as well as 40% from three-point line. So she's one of the better shooters on this team, has established herself from beyond the arc, and does really well at the free throw line as well, 56% there as well. But a stat that really stands out to me is she started the last 60 games for the Wildcats and has been a very quiet, really consistent presence for the Wildcats in a team full of stars, and she's going to lead the way here tonight.
She comes off the floor for the redshirt freshman Lauren Buchanan. Her first 2 points of the night, does have 3 rebounds to lead everybody. Here's Montgomery. Kayla Peters in the game for the first time tonight alongside Sumi Level. As see first points of the night for Holly Morgan, who is your player to watch for the Whitman side.
Yeah. And so on the other side for the Blues, Holly Morgan, 11 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 39 assists, 39% from the field, 21% from 3, but leads the team in field goals made and assists, second in rebounds. And again, a very talented team. They've got some younger presence. Holly Morgan, one of those players, and has really started to establish herself in the Northwest Conference, is going to lead this team here tonight.
10-6 Blues. Let's reset the floor for you for the Wildcats in the backcourt, Lauren Buchanan and Jordan Roberts. Along with Allie Mead, of course, Skylar Willie, and Mickey Vermeulen up front. As the Wildcats force the turnover. 5 for the Blues right now. Montgomery and Andrade, along with Holly Morgan and Sumi Level. Kayla Peters checking in at the media timeout. So Roberts, Wildcats still missing her twin sister Logan, along with Kate Townsend and Maddie Barter. And we mentioned no Tana Hooker, but tonight Skylar Willie getting the start. What a finish on the floater by Allie Mead. Terrific first step. As she gets her first points of the game, it makes it 10-8. We dip under 3 in the first.
Yeah, just drove up there, found a lane, put it off the glass and in, and that's what Allie Mead does. She's very assertive, especially in the paint, and she can go up and get that ball off the glass and put it in. That's where she's really going to manufacture some of her points. Does like to take shots like 12-footers, 14-footers, really good at that as well. But those layups are really, really strong presence for Allie Mead.
Skylar Willie picks up her first foul, and that's going to lead to us seeing some early run for Jaden Ray. This will be called on the floor. Excuse me, Jaden Harrell. Had my Jadens mixed up. Jaden Harrell, the junior center from Lako, checking in. Lovell able to collect her own miss off the inbound play. Andrade under the basket. Just had to throw it up there trying to get a foul. Roberts gets the rebound. Meade directing traffic, gives it away to Vermeulen. Roberts on the wing. Harold down low to Vermeulen from the block off glass. And easy money for Vermeulen that time. Morgan comes up top, and she'll drive and draw the foul on Buchanan. So yeah, Holly Morgan leading this team at 11.1 points per game. Just 39% from the field, but a respectable 34% from three. And she's been automatic from the charity stripe at 81% on the year. Also second leading rebounder at 6 per game. Junior out of Wellington, New Zealand, prep school at Queen Margaret College. Knocks home both and puts Whitman back in front, 12-10. 1:54 to go in the first. Buchanan with the reverse, and it was a beautiful read by Meade on the pass, but the freshman unable to finish.
Yeah, Joe, and Buchanan, another one of those players for the Wildcats. We talk about the depth, we talk about the starting five for the Wildcats, but Buchanan has really stepped up this year. She's been a versatile player off the bench for these Wildcats and for Casey Bunn Wilson, and shown why there. I mean, she's going to get her playing time, and she's really going to be one of the consistent players over the next couple of years.
Peters will be charged with the blocking foul in transition. That will be called in the act of shooting. And the other big roster note tonight is the return of Ella Coblin, who is getting ready to check in here. The redshirt junior who missed all of last season with a preseason injury, getting ready to check in for her first game since February 17th, 2024. And she was a huge piece of this team's turnaround as a freshman and sophomore. And she'll have to wait a moment longer as Meade gets her own offensive rebound. Buchanan buries the three! Terrific sequence for the Cats as they take their first lead of the night, 14-12. Buchanan has been huge off the bench. And with Coblin getting ready to check in here, Brian, as we see Jaden Ray on the floor now for the Wildcats, but in the backcourt between Meade, Coblin, and Buchanan, you've got quite a bit of depth at the guard positions for the Wildcats now.
Absolutely, and that ability to shoot beyond the arc just goes up and up with Coblin back in now, and this is a team that's going to be very, very dangerous from beyond the arc, and we're starting to see a lot more of that now.
Kayla Peters answers right back with a three of her own. The Whitman men's team was a big fan of that shot. She just lofted it up there. 20 on the shot clock, 40 on the game clock. Vermeulen, Buchanan walked with it. Took a step before getting that first dribble down, and now here is Ella Coblin as Vermeulen and Meade head to the floor. Coblin checking in alongside Natalie Rossetti. And again, Ella Coblin, the redshirt junior from Silverdale, Washington, checking in for her first game since February 17th, 2024. Underneath, Lavelle will be able to draw the foul on Coblin. And that will be the fourth against the Wildcats. So 23.1 on the game clock. And the Blues will have 20 on the shot clock. Inbound here to Montgomery. Back into the corner with Morgan. She'll step back for a three off, and the rebound to Buchanan with 13 seconds. So push it to Coblin, who will slow it down and ends up turning it over. Nice read by Morgan to get the easy transition bucket, making a three-point lead for the Blues. 3 seconds. Buchanan going to have to heave it from beyond half court, and that'll take us to the end of the first. So an entertaining first quarter here. Whitman leading by 3, 17-14.
Whether you're a professional contractor or a do-it-yourselfer, Botton's Equipment and Event Rental is ready to help. Need a skid steer loader, excavator, trencher, or dump trailer? How about a reach forklift, man lift, or compactor? Botton's has it. And check out the supply of party needs, including luxury restrooms, wine glasses, tables, chairs, canopies, and more. Stop by Botton's Equipment and Event Rental on Lafayette Avenue in McMinnville, or view their full inventory at bottonsrental.com.
Known for juicy burgers, crispy fries, and fast, flavorful comfort food, Hangry's keeps things simple and seriously satisfying. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Hangry's features over 20 specialty burgers, big portions, and always fresh ingredients. Check out the daily and weekly specials served up by Hangry's friendly staff. Feed your feelings before or after the game. Head to Hangry's, next to Calvin Ford on Highway 99 West in McMinnville.
Start of the second quarter in Ted Wilson Gymnasium. Whitman 17, Linfield 14. Joe Stewart and Brian Keiss here with you live on the LSN on Flow. And competitive first quarter, a run between two teams with their sights set on the Northwest Conference title. 1 seed and the 4 seed in the NWC tournament a year ago. Wildcats force the Whitman turnover, miscue there. And Brian, we touched on it earlier already, but turnovers certainly could be a factor in this game with how much these two teams force turnovers. Linfield gave it away 3 times in that first quarter. Whitman, that's their first cough up of the night.
Right, and you know, you get those hands down, you figure it out as time goes on, but both of these teams, like you just mentioned, very good at forcing the turnover, very good at keeping the ball as well. When they force those turnovers, of course, second chance points and all that, you get those stats as well. But going to be very, very important for both of these teams to keep the ball. And for Linfield so far this season, they've been a little bit of an issue, really starting to kind of figure that out as time goes on. And now is the time where you really have to lock that in as Northwest Conference play goes on.
And another turnover, and we're seeing the defensive impact of Jaden Ray right now, trying to take it all the way herself. And she's able to draw the foul. Jaden Ray will go to shoot 2.
Already seeing very physical basketball here tonight.
Both teams have been unafraid to foul or play with a full head of steam. And Ray can't get the first one to go. Junior or senior at this point from Hermiston, Oregon, transferred to the Wildcats from Lynn Benton CC a year ago and has been a fixture in the rotation since joining the team, and certainly known for her defensive presence, unable to come away with anything at the line that time after creating the turnover. So Whitman basketball here, Wildcats will show a light press. Baker, Neal, Morgan, Lavelle, and Jordan Leaf, the 5 for the Blues to start the second quarter. Schultz, Rossetti, Coblin, Ray, and Harrell, the lineup for Casey Bone Wilson right now. And Avery Neal steps on the line in the deep corner near side, and that gives it back to the Wildcats. So all of a sudden, turnovers even at 3 apiece as the Blues cough it up 3 times here early in the second.
Fouls and turnovers really starting to show up now in the second quarter.
Coblin, baseline, what a pass to set up Harrell. She can't finish, and the rebound by the Blues, and now a reach will go against Harrell for her first foul of the game. That'll lead to Skylar Willey coming back in. We'll see Eve Burke re-enter as well for Coblin. We'll get a nice round of applause, but probably don't expect to see Ella more than 10 minutes tonight, I would imagine. If she's got a long way to go easing her way back in.
Yeah, but eventually, maybe come the end of conference play and maybe into the conference tournament, Copeland could really be a key for this team as they go into the Northwest Conference tournament, which we assume they're going to make this year with what they've got on the table so far this season. But the dynamics from this entire team, very, very good, especially with Copeland back now.
3 to shoot, a lot of long possessions for the Blues. Andrade doesn't realize it, had no idea as the Wildcats put the clamps on for a shot clock violation and the 4th Whitman turnover of the first 3:13 of the second quarter. And Ferenz not happy with what she was seeing there, and she'll make a couple changes. They only roster 11 active players, one of the smallest rosters in the NWC. Not a ton of depth for Michelle Ferenz to utilize. Everybody will likely see action. Rossetti, nice drive, but can't finish. And it seems like the Wildcats have had a lot of close-range shots that haven't been able to go tonight. Still only down 3. Neither side able to score so far in the quarter. And that'll be broken up by Solt here, leading the Wildcats on the year at 11.8 a game. Her first points of the game right here.
And Solt can do that as well. This entire team can, but Solt usually known for her three-point shooting and her shots around the perimeter, but she can drive. She's got that physical presence. She can go down low and put one off the glass if she needs to.
Off on the 3 from Montgomery. And then going to be a loose ball foul on Andrade. As Leaf and Lavelle came off for Montgomery and Andrade after the shot clock violation. Linfield with a chance to take the lead. Ray, pump fake and drive, and Willie all alone for the easy deuce. Off the dime by Ray.
Wildcats are moving the ball around really well, especially here in the second quarter. That's something they're really going to have to keep up with this defense from the Blues, but tonight we're starting to see it come and play a factor for them here this evening.
And in front, 18-17 now. Willie with the rebound after another stop. Blues scoreless for over 3.5 minutes. Burke capitalizes on the other end, and Linfield takes a 20-17 lead. What a pass by Solt to set that up. Largest lead of the first half for the Wildcats at 3 points here. And this small but feisty crowd getting loud in Ted Wilson Gymnasium. The drought continues for the Blues. Haven't made a basket since 5 seconds left in the first. Burke lost it for a moment, and that was because we have a reach-in foul on Holly Morgan. That'll be the third against Whitman in the quarter, second against Morgan, and we'll see Jordan Leaf come back into the ballgame. Burke stops at the elbow. Rossetti gets it down low to Willie, kicks it back out. Eve for 3. Can't get that to go. Wildcats 1 of 6 from 3 to start tonight, and now we'll see a loose ball foul on the freshman Rossetti. And we'll see the Wildcats pair of all-stars come back into the game with Meade and Vermeulen on for Rossetti and Ray. Linfield now up 3, 5:07 to go, and Meade and Vermeulen are going to look to extend that. Linfield showing pressure again. Solt guarding Montgomery all the way up. Gets it across the timeline with 23 on the shot clock. Long 2 from Emelena Banker. Can't go. Long board corralled by Montgomery. She'll try another. This one from the baseline. Gets Whitman back within a point. Underneath, Burke won't go. Eve just 1 for 4 to start tonight, but does have 4 rebounds to lead everybody. And another turnover by the Blues. Zolt on the strip. Shot clock was down to 4 again for Whitman. And now under 4 to play in the half. Burke off the handoff from Vermeulen. Down low to Willie. 1-on-1 on the block. Off glass short. Linfield just 7 of 20 from the field. It's still enough for the slight margin as they've also held Whitman to 7 of 19. Andrade able to break up the nearly 5-minute scoring drought for Whitman, putting them back in front 21-20. Andrade's first points of the night. And now Willie skies the pass, trying to go across court to Zolt. That'll take us to the timeout. 2:58 to go. And back and forth go our two Northwest.
Just to be nice to somebody is so easy. It doesn't take much to just make somebody happy.
When you go to work with a customer, just show them the love and kindness that everyone else has shown us.
You know, if you see a need and you can find a way to fulfill it, you should.
I just believe that people
McMinnville. Champions live and work.
Abuela's Nuestra Cocina on 3rd Street in downtown McMinnville.
(21-20) our score, 2:58 to go. Whitman leading Linfield by a point here just a few minutes before halftime. And going to be a foul here on Zolt, threw up an arm. Guarding Morgan Montgomery. Her first of the night. It's a combined 10 points in this second quarter between the two teams. Emelena Baker is going to try and add to the Whitman lead. Here she goes to shoot two. Meade still quiet in this first half so far. Just 3 points. Trying to get it down low, and they do to the freshman Sydney Newby, who's in trouble under the basket. ends up throwing it up, trying to get a foul, and ends up just being off the bottom of the basket and out of bounds. An empty possession for the Wildcats there, and Whitman will get it with 2:13 to go. He'll be checking in after Willie picking up a foul. Two minutes to go till halftime. This game fast-paced early on, stagnated a bit here in the second. Both teams have clamped down defensively as the Wildcats force a sixth Whitman turnover all in this quarter.
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about it a lot already, but force the issue even more. But these are two teams that are going to force those turnovers, and the Wildcats are using that to their advantage so far right now. Of course, they had the upper hand for a couple of minutes there with that scoring drought for the Blues, but it's going to be really important to keep that up, especially in the second half, if they want to take this one.
And now Linfield nearly turns it over. Oh, wow, this actually is going to go against Newby, so she picks up the foul, and Skylar Willie comes back in alongside Jaden Ray and Lauren Buchanan. Newby, Burke, and Solt headed to the bench. Leith and Neal coming off the floor for Whitman. As Kayla Peters comes back onto the floor alongside Montgomery. Floater is short from Montgomery. Linfield with the board, 1:08 to go. Meade calls out the play with a minute left in the half. Jaden Ray, head fake. Trying to get inside, likes her matchup here, putting the moves on, goes to work and knocks it home. Jaden Ray digging into the offensive skill set a bit. Cats within a point again, 40 seconds left in the half.
It'll be really important to get a stop. They might have the last possession of the half here if they can get it off.
Morgan driving and finishes. Linfield will have the last possession, down 3. 20 seconds. Ray stops, and she will draw a foul. That'll be just number 4 on Whitman, so no shots coming. Linfield will be inbounding baseline with 17.4 to go in the half. Lavelle is going to come back in for Andrade for Whitman for this final possession or two. And Meade will be the inbounder. Into Willie on the block, out to Meade in the corner. 3 on the way, beautiful! Perfection on the inbounds play between Willie and Meade. Cats tie it at 25. And going to be a deep shot here from Kayla Peters, but Meade with the terrific 3. Cats get the stop on the other end. We are tied at 25 going into the break. We'll be back in a moment with the Farnham Electric halftime report. Keep it here on the LSN on Flow, Linfield. Welcome into the Farnham Electric Halftime Report here live in McMinnville. Joe Stewart and Brian Keiss with you. Tied at 25 is our score between two Northwest Conference title hopefuls, Linfield and Whitman. But about as billed tonight, we thought, Brian, we were going to see a pretty well-contested game, even with this kind of new look Whitman squad, and that has delivered. Both sides kind of had the offense going in the first, and then the second defense really clamped down.
Yeah, showing all facets of the game for both sides. Of course, they are two very good teams on both sides of the ball, so we're starting to see that. Linfield able to force a lot of turnovers in the second quarter and use that to their advantage. They had a couple leads, eventually able to tie it up on some good defense and some good offensive looks as well going into the half. But this is going to be a lot of back and forth for both of these teams in the second half. Really going to come down to the wire in the fourth quarter.
Quickly glancing at the leaders, both of these teams like to spread things around. Holly Morgan and Emmalena Baker, both with 8 points apiece to lead the way for Whitman. Skylar Willie here in her first start as a Wildcat with 6 points, along with Allie Mead, who hit the three right before halftime to tie it up at 25. Eve Burke leads everybody on the glass with 4 rebounds. Taking a look at the team comparison in this one, Linfield just about 36% from the field, but that's up after 41% in the second quarter compared to 30% in the first. Linfield holding Whitman to about 40% from the field as well. Just 1 of 7 from 3 are the Blues. Linfield not much better at 2 of 7, but they have worked their way to the line well, 5 of 8 from the line, while Whitman has only had 2 trips with 4 total free throws. And we mentioned turnovers. We knew that was going to be a big factor tonight. Whitman 6 turnovers all in that second quarter. It's only led to 2 points off of turnovers for the Wildcats. We have been able to see Linfield get things going with second chance points, 9 second chance points off of 5 offensive rebounds, 14 points in the paint for the Cats, 12 for Whitman, and points in the paint will continue to be a key factor if both these teams struggle to shoot from 3.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's another thing to look for as this game goes on. But both of these teams, very physical teams. We knew that coming in. We're starting to see those fouls play a factor as well, and those are going to be really crucial for both these teams to be good at the stripe and go about their business with the fouls and keeping it clean in the second half. But getting those points where they can and using that to their advantage.
It's going to come down to every possession tonight is going to matter in a game like this with 2 evenly matched teams. We'll take a break. When we come back, taking you around recent action in the NWC and a look at the Northwest Conference standings here early in January. Keep it here on the Farnham Electric Halftime Report. Back here in McMinnville, taking a quick look around the Northwest Conference as we look at the standings after most of the NWC got back into action this last weekend while the Wildcats were idle. And Puget Sound off to the 3-0 start. They are tied with Whitman for first in the league. Technically, Linfield still unbeaten at 1-0 after their late November win against Pacific, having to start conference that way. George Fox at 2-1 is in fourth. Nobody else above 500. Lewis and Clark 1-1 start to their conference slate. Pacific 1-2, Willamette 1-2, PLU and Whitworth both 0-3. Had 2 Tuesday night games this week. Of course, this Blues team beating the brakes off of Whitworth 74-39. It was not the same story in Tacoma, where Puget Sound edged out their cross-town rival PLU just 69-65. 2 other games in action tonight. Down in Salem, Willamette up big against PLU with the third quarter already underway. About 7 minutes to go in the third. Willamette up 52-34, being led by 20 points from Riley Walden for the Bearcats. And in Portland, Newburgh leading, or George Fox, not Newburgh, it's almost in high school mode there, but George Fox leading Lewis and Clark 39-21 at the break. So a couple of blowouts the other 2 games. So this is the one to be watching tonight here, folks, as Mia Scoro has 15 to lead the Bruins up 39-31. We'll take one last break. When we come back, start of the second half in McMinnville. Keep it here on the LSN on
Growing from one man with a tool cart in 1920 to a successful contracting firm employing dozens of professionals today, Farnham Electric Construction has expanded to meet the needs of its diverse clientele. Farnham Electric's service-minded approach has guided the company into the computer age, where it remains on the forefront of the latest in electrical contractor technology. Yet no job is too small. Farnham Electric can wire or repair complicated industrial equipment, install your home theater, or simply replace a faulty switch in the bathroom. Learn more at farnhamelectric.com.
Great dental professionals like the ones at Hometown Dental can care for your teeth without any discomfort. Dr. Brian Bomberger and his staff want to partner with you to keep your teeth feeling healthy and looking good. All ages are welcome, most insurance plans are accepted, and emergency services are available. Hometown Dental, located near Linfield on Booth Bend Road. Call for an appointment, 971-287-3477, or request an appointment online at hometowndentalmac.com.
What is happening?
Just like my Nana's house, her couch was immaculate. See, kids, it's all about protection.
Without the right
Located in McMinnville, every appointment is one-on-one with a doctor of physical therapy. Trek specializes in treating concussions, orthopedic injuries, and athletes. Their providers deliver up-to-date treatments and utilize modern technology to accurately track your progress and get you feeling better. Find them online at trekptmac.com. Book an appointment today to get on your path of healing and performance.
Time for the start of the second half here in McMinnville. 25 all our score, Brian, and like we talked about at halftime there, about what we expected in terms of competitiveness tonight, and both teams clearly very even on both ends of the floor right now.
Yeah, 2 of the best teams on the West Coast, and a year after year battle. I mean, Casey Bunn-Wilson and Michelle Ferenz have really established these 2 programs into some of the tops in the West Coast, and year after year it's been this battle, and it's really fun to watch here tonight. May see it again later this year as the season winds down as well. Very exciting matchup here. 2 really talented teams. It'll be a fun second half.
Again, Wildcats running without Tana Hookema tonight. Skylar Willie has done a good job to fill in. She and Allie Mead leading the Wildcats with 6 points apiece. Emmalena Baker and Holly Morgan have 8 apiece for the Blues.
Yeah, Joe, and that also goes to show you how vital Hookema is to the squad at the 5. Of course, they've got a lot of talent at that position, but Hookema, of course, one of the better players in the Northwest Conference, and game after game, really, really important for this team at the 5. And Willie going to have a lot of promise going forward in the rest of her career at Linfield, but Hookema is that player at the 5 for Linfield.
And certainly noteworthy that really kind of her breakout game was in the Northwest Conference Tournament with 18 points against Whitman. Wildcats missing her tonight, but Willie has filled in admirably, and Allie Mead is trying to get it going. She's got 8 to lead Linfield now. And they'll be aggressive with the press, leads to a turnover, and an easy deuce for Vermeulen off the Mead assist.
Mickey do it on both sides of the ball, forcing a turnover and going and putting it off the glass herself.
So a 4-point lead for the Wildcats out of the gate of halftime, which is their largest of the night. Solt forces another turnover. Solt blocked going up by the much larger Andrade, and although it looked physical, I think Solt going down there was just a factor of momentum.
It was all ball, yeah.
It was all ball. Vermeulen, another nice basket off a nice assist on the inbound, and a 6-0 run to start halftime for the Wildcats here. Stretch it out over the last 3:41 at game time. That's a 9-2 run. They outscored the Blues 11-8 in the second quarter after it was 17-14 Whitman at the end of the first. Dribbled off the foot of Morgan, but Neal able to save it. Montgomery, screen from Andrade, and again, just not a lot of shot clock awareness out of the Blues tonight.
They're doing a lot of things right, and that's really one of the few things they aren't doing very well this evening is the awareness of where they're on the floor and the shot clock as well.
Let's see a jump ball here. Possession will go to Whitman as Willie got tied up with Andrade after Burke's miss. Montgomery, mid-range, can't get it to go. Montgomery now 0 for 6 tonight as that goes out of bounds off of Whitman. Linfield will get the ball back. Later on tonight, we hope you join us for the men's half of our doubleheader. Linfield men and Whitman men taking on each other at about 7:30 here on the LSN on Flow Sports. About 20 minutes after this one wraps. Willie underneath. Can't get it to go. Both men's squads for these institutions looking to get back in the win column. Whitman has lost their last 2. Linfield will be playing for the first time since mid-December. To shake off the rust against a Blues team that has dropped back-to-back games and is coming into tonight just 500 overall. Neal gives it away, and the struggles continue for Montgomery. She misses down low. Trying to drive baseline, gives it back to Linfield again.
Yeah, seeing more of the Whitman Blues that we saw in the second quarter, and quite literally the Whitman Blues. They're struggling in the second quarter and bringing that into the third. And got to keep an eye on that. Linfield being very aggressive coming out of the half, and they're using that to their advantage right now.
Solt catch and shoot. Can't get it to roll in. Willie, another jump ball, and this time possession will stay with Linfield. Neither side has gotten the three-point shot to go. Linfield 2 of 8, Whitman 1 of 7. Solt will inbound, fresh 20 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. Into Willie, back out to Solt. She'll drive, trying to go up, and draws the foul. Hits the deck pretty hard again. This time she will be rewarded with her efforts or for her efforts with 2 free throws.
Almost got the wind knocked out of her, it looked like. Having to take a second.
Amelia Solt, terrific senior season, leading this team in scoring at 11.8 a game. Led the team in three-point makes. She's a microwave type of player, can heat up in a hurry. Goes 1 for 2 from the line this time, but does make it a 7-point lead for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and Solt, one of those, I mean, this entire team really, but Solt in particular is a player that feeds off of the rest of the team's energy. When the team is playing well, Solt is that leader for the team, really at the point, and she can bring that in, that offensive prowess to this team when they're at their best, and Solt really clicking right now.
Blues able to break the press this time, 15 to shoot. Neal on the right wing, trying to break the drought. Can't get it to go. Cats with the rebound, out to Burke in transition. 34-25 Linfield. Michelle Ferenz wants a timeout, and you don't blame her. A 14-2 run for Linfield over the last. Back in McMinnville after the Whitman timeout. 6:11 to go here in the third quarter. Linfield now up by 9. 34-25 our score. They've outscored the Blues 9-0 since they got back from halftime. Mead with the steal, and then it was out of bounds off of Neal. Ends up going as a foul on Neal. Linfield, tough job to get it inbounds, but they do. Mead starting to get going, kicks out to the shooter, Sold on the way. Vermeulen second chance, up and in! Linfield up by double figures on the Mickey Vermeulen cleanup job.
A really nice job by Vermeulen to go up and in, got herself a lane, and the ball just found her. She puts it up and in there.
And Willie deflects the pass. Turnover number 10 on the night by Whitman. And Burke got it to go on the other end.
Couple of really textbook passing jobs from the Wildcats, and they've got it all clicking right now, Joe.
Wildcats have outscored the Blues 18-3 over the last 7 minutes of game action. Montgomery gonna be hit with the offensive foul. Her struggles continue as Burke takes it on the chin. Her third foul of the night. That'll take us to the media break. What a run for the Wildcats here. Up 38-25 over the Blues. Just dominated this third quarter since halftime, Brian. And looking for their first win over this Whitman program since January 2024. Have lost the last 4 meetings, but looking good here in the second half tonight.
Yeah, these are 2 entirely different basketball teams than we saw at the beginning of this game. The Blues have fallen off, and Wildcats are capitalizing on that and really going with it right now. Casey Bunn-Wilson must have said something in the locker room because they're coming out very aggressive.
Finally, the Blues are able to get a stop. Here's Neal up top, guarded by Meade. And there's a nice runner in the lane from Holly Morgan. Her first, or the Blues' first points of the second half to make it 38-27. She does have 10 to lead everybody in this one, but she's going to need some help. The Blues are going to turn this game around. Under 4 to go in the third. Meade on the left wing. One more into the corner where Solt's wide open. They can't get it to go. Good effort from Willie, and they call it out of bounds off of her though. The Blues, that was their first basket since 5 seconds left in the first half. Morgan's make the last trip down the floor. She's got the ball again with 9 to shoot. Guarded by Meade, gets a high screen, pulls a long 2. Can't rattle it home. Vermeulen with the rebound, her third of the game. Meade, crossover, kick out. Solt gives it back to Alley to reset the offense. And Meade will direct traffic here, give it back away to Solt. Meade left alone. And despite Linfield's offensive turnaround here in the second half, still struggling from 3. And we will see a foul here on Solt, trying to guard Neal the whole way up. Sumi Lavelle will check in for Andrade. And we'll see Jordan Roberts and Jaden Ray come back in for Amelia Solt and Eve Burke. Solt, that was her second foul, by the way. Only starter with multiple fouls for Linfield tonight.
Yeah, good news for this entire team, really keeping those fouls to a minimum, especially here in the second half. But a little bit of a break for Amelia. She's been kind of beat up here tonight, so go out, take a little bit of a break, and then come back and reset and get things going right back again.
Morgan off on the baseline try, back with the Cats, and back with Meade again. Another balanced attack from the Wildcats. Nobody with more than 8. All 5 starters have gotten on the board. Willie, jab step and drive. She's looking for double figures, and she'll get there. Or excuse me, that gives her 8 now. She, Meade, Vermeulen, and Burke all with 8 points apiece. Under 2 to go in the third. Side Leaf, tough look. And even though Willie got whacked in the face, she's going to be tagged with the foul. And so Jordan Leith will go to the line to try and get her first points of the night via free throws. Willie picks up her second foul, and Jaden Harrell will come into the ballgame with 1:42 to go as Leith goes to the stripe. Wildcats back in action tomorrow afternoon as the Whitworth Pirates come to town. And Northwest Conference scoring leader Ashlyn Peterson. Linfield and Whitworth tipping off at 3 o'clock here on the LSN on Flow Sports. Neither free throw good for Leith. Meade gives it out to Ray. Vermeulen dribbles to the left side, gives it away to Mead. And we're going to see a blocking foul here on Neal this time. It's going to be the 4th against Whitman and the 3rd against Avery Neal. It'll be Emma-Lena Baker coming off the floor for Whitman here, though, as Andrade checks in. We're also going to see Morgan Montgomery come on for Neal in her 3 fouls now. And Ella Coblin back into the game to give Allie Mead a breather. 1:29 to go till the 4th quarter. Coblin trying to bounce it underneath to Harrell, ends up throwing it away. Leith trying to penetrate, gives it up to Andrade. Trying to get it to Lovell, and Harrell comes up with the ball after the Vermeulen deflection. 6th steal of the night by the Wildcats. Minute to go in the period. And now an illegal screen against Harrell. So complicit on back-to-back turnovers here. We'll see Vermeulen come off for the sophomore Rossetti. And Leith will come off as well. Kayla Peters back into the game.
Yeah, Casey Bunn Wilson can do that with this squad right now with that lead. Don't want to let it slip too much, but with that lead, can get some of those bench players back in, give her starters a rest, and this Wildcat squad still going to go out and do what they need to do going forward. Their starters are going to come back in and do what they need to do as well.
Harrell off the rebound after Andrade tried to take the lid off the rim. Whitman just 1 for 7 tonight. Jordan Roberts with the baseline floater. 15-point lead for Linfield, largest of the night. Blues can hold for the last shot of the 3rd if they want to. But at this point, you're just looking for a good look if you're Whitman. 1 for 8 in the 3rd quarter. 4 for 17 since the end of the 1st. Heave with the buzzer going is wide right from Peters. The Wildcats completely locked down on defense in the 3rd to take a 42-27 lead into the 4th quarter. Keep it here on the LSN. Indiana is just a team of destiny.
Oh, yeah.
Start of the 4th quarter here in McMinnville. Joe Stewart and Brian Keiss with you on the LSN on Flow. What a 3rd quarter for the Wildcats. They now take a 15-point lead into the final frame, outscoring the Blues 17-2 in the 3rd period after it was tied at 25 at halftime.
Yeah, and this Wildcat team putting it all together. We've seen what they can do all season long, and the Blues have had no answer for this Linfield offense and the defense as well for the Wildcats, and more of that going out of break for the 4th quarter for the Wildcats, and this game is theirs.
Whitman needs to find answers. Hurry. 1 for 9 from the field in the 3rd quarter. An awkward look under the basket from Holly Morgan. Won't go. Burke in transition. the left hand, can't get it to go, and out of bounds going to Whitman.
And we've seen some really, really nice passing here tonight from the Wildcats. I mean, that's part of the reason why they're getting a lot of fast breaks, a lot of really good passing, smart decisions, and putting it all together offensively. That's part of the reason why they're up big right now.
Wildcats force nearly the turnover with the trap, which has been very effective tonight. Whitman is not in themselves in terms of ball control in this game. Oh man, and now Morgan just loses her footing, leads to a scrum for the ball on the floor. We'll see a jump ball, and Linfield will be given possession.
And it's been tough break after tough break for the Blues right now. Of course, Morgan's slipping and maybe a little bit too much traction on her shoes right there, but this Wildcat team taking that opportunity, and they're going to run with it here.
Vermeulen gives it down low to Willie. 4 Wildcats with 8 points. And now Willie will lose it, but able to get it back. 7 to shoot, double teamed in the corner, has to get rid of it to Solt. She can't handle it. Mead, 2 seconds from way downtown. And in a night full of shot clock violations on the Whitman side, Wildcats hit with one here on high pressure defense from the Blues.
And even then, Willie able to get her own mistake, make up for her own mistake there, and that just goes to show the Blues right now are not where they need to be on defense, and it's showing right now.
Montgomery caught up in the trap, able to get it away to Peters, but now Solt on the steal, and she'll have the easy finish. Make it 44-27. Solt's got 5. And 8:05 to play tonight. As the Wildcats looking for their first win against Whitman since January 2024, and just their second win against the Blues in the Casey Bunn Wilson era. Whitman has taken the last 4 meetings between these two teams, 3 of them last season. The Wildcats can hold on tonight. It'll give them a chance to beat the Blues multiple times in a season for the first time since the 2001-02 campaign.
Yeah, Joe, and that's a prime example of, it goes to show you what Michelle Ferenz has built up in Walla Walla, but also what Casey Bunn Wilson is building and has built over her tenure here at Linfield. Has built one of the better squads we've seen in program history, of course, last year, and bringing that into this year. This is a very dangerous team, and this could be the story for the next couple of years.
Sold, catch and shoot. That's airballed. Blues have made it 44-30 after Brianna Andrade's and 1 opportunity is converted on their last possession. Led to Leaf, Lena Baker, and Neal checking in for Peters, Montgomery, and Hoover. It was Eve Burke's first foul of the night that sent Andrade to the line. Still a 22-5 run over the last 13 minutes of game action, essentially since halftime. And another turnover by the Blues as Willie impedes the shot. Vermeulen picks the ball out of the air. Cats up 7 on the glass, 31-24, and plus 6 in the rebound margin category. 7 minutes to go, Cats in the driver's seat. Solt dumps it down low to Willie. She'll go one-on-one with Andrade, but can't finish. Underneath, and that one nearly went as well, but Emma-Lena Baker will go to shoot a pair. As that foul will go on Willie, her 3rd. And it looks like Harrell is going to come back in for her. Buchanan will come in for Solt. Harrell and Willie have done a good job filling in for Tana Hookema tonight. They've both played well with their minutes, trying to hold the line. First free throw is good for Emma-Lena Baker. Got them both, but still just 7 points since halftime for this Whitman squad. And yet they're only down 12 with 6.5 to play. Linfield just has to keep control here. Rare sloppy turnover by Meade. She can't communicate with Harrell that time. And so the Blues, a 3 here would get them in single digits. They're only 1 for 9 from downtown tonight. And instead, Morgan leaves it short down low. Linfield defense has been fantastic tonight. Got to find the offense a bit more for a couple more minutes. Burke, she'll try a 3, left it short. Got her own miss and draws the foul on the second chance opportunity.
She came out of nowhere on that one, Joe.
Read that was going to be short pretty quickly, screaming down the baseline for the rebound. She'll shoot 2 at the line here. 7 rebounds to lead everybody. And now 9 points to lead the Wildcats. So you can be the first Cat in double figures. She knocks another home here. Got them both. Gets the lead back out to 14. 10 points, 8 rebounds for Burke tonight. I beg your pardon, that offensive board to get her to the line was her 8th of the night. Morgan still unable to get anything to go. Andrade on the second chance trying to get it out to Baker. She is fouled on the floor. Goes on Harrell, her 3rd. Second against Linfield here in the 4th quarter. First of 3 in this homestand to kick off January for the Wildcats. Again, we mentioned home again tomorrow afternoon against the Pirates. And playing Willamette 5:30 on Tuesday night. That shot is blocked. Burke with the rejection. Harrell picks it out of the air. I think that was maybe intended to go cross court to the corner, but Harrell gets her first points of the night. And finally, a 3 goes for Jordan Leith. The first 3 of the second half for either side. First 3 since the first quarter for Whitman. Ferenz takes a timeout. .501 to go tonight. Linfield up by 13 over Whitman. Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by Pizza Capo. Neapolitan wood-fired pizza served in downtown McMinnville 7 nights a week. Pizza Capo. Blues are going to start pressing here. Linfield not out of the woods yet, but certainly in command of this game. Again, we'll have the men's half of our doubleheader coming up 20 minutes after this one concludes. Buchanan gets it to go! Stretches the lead to 16 on Linfield's first 3 of the second half. Buchanan, second of the night. Jordan Roberts checking in for Burke at the timeout. Casey Bunn Wilson trying to rest her for tomorrow night's bout with Whitworth. Here's a long two on the step back, airballed but followed by Montgomery to make it 51-37. Montgomery's first points of the night after an 0 for 8 start from the field.
Finally got something to go there, and
Buchanan
almost by mistake.
Almost went back to back. Montgomery driving, lost it, and that'll go out of bounds off of Whitman. Or no, it'll go out of bounds off of Linfield as that was broken up by the Wildcats, and Whitman will keep it. Out of bounds, deflected by Harrell that time. Whitman will keep it with 16 on the shot clock. Leith, nice finish. Making a 12-point game with 3:40 to go. Leith has 5 off the bench. The Blues are going to need to work a lot quicker and get successive stops here. They want to make this contested in the final minutes here. Roberts out to a wide open Meade, top of the key three. 3-point shooting struggles continue for Linfield, just 3 for 17 tonight, but still a 12-point lead. Blues, last gasp, and the three goes for Leith. Pulled everything, 9-point game with 3 to go. And you knew the Blues with their championship DNA would not roll over too easily.
They don't want to go home yet.
Roberts, can she answer back? Yes, sir! Now a reach-in foul against Roberts, but a huge 3 from her. Just her 3rd of the season to get the lead back out to 12. Baseline Jimmy from Leith goes now, and she's catching fire here late. I beg your pardon, that last 3 actually got her up to 8. That gives her double figures, tied for the lead on the team with Baker and Morgan tonight. 10-point game with 2:15 to play. Willie's going to check in one more time along with Burke. Didn't get the rest of the game she was hoping for. As now Montgomery, the freshman, forces a jump ball. That'll give it back to Whitman. So Burke, Ray, and Willie onto the floor for Roberts, Harrell, and Buchanan. 2:09 to play. Whitman, a make here would get them within single digits again. Not making it easy on the Cats here down the stretch. Up top, Leith, who's caught fire here late, has to give it away. 8 to shoot. Morgan in the lane, turnaround, goes! And Whitman all of a sudden has hit 6 of their last 7 shots to make it an 8-point game with 1:35 to go.
This is getting very interesting, and we talked about it earlier. It's going to come down to the wire in this one.
Cats got to be clean here through the final minute 25. Vermeulen, Ray, Burke, corner 3. Yes, sir! Linfield, third 3 of the 4th quarter to extend it back out to an 11-point game.
When they need it most.
But again, another answer from the Blues as Montgomery will have a chance at a 3-point play. Vermeulen's second foul. So Whitman just being pesky here in the final minutes of the ball game. and one is good. Montgomery makes it 57-49 with a minute to go. Cats get the ball up and got to use some clock now. Try and force the Blues to foul. Mead, handsy defense from Leaf, but no foul. Ray takes it into the paint, and now we'll see a jump ball here. We'll keep it with Linfield with 7 to shoot. Seven to shoot. Mead able to get it into Ray. 3 seconds. Ray in trouble, and the Blues get the stop they need with 35.7 left. Or no, Jaden Ray bailed out with a foul on Leaf, with the shot clock expiring to give Linfield a fresh 20. And now Whitman likely will be forced to foul. They get it into Willie, into Vermeulen, caught in the trap, still no foul, and now there it is. And that is number 5 in the quarter on Whitman as it goes against Baker. And, oh, I thought, thought that was the bonus, but instead the Blues will have to foul one more time. And now Linfield will be in the bonus for the final 25.6.
This could be it right here.
Burke trying to get it back to a 10-point lead. Gets the first. He's got 14 tonight. Was your player to watch out the gate, Brian, and she has delivered. Got them both. Back-to-back games with double figures. Michelle Ferenz takes the timeout. 25.6 to go. .6 to play and a 10-point lead for the Wildcats. Again, 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one, well, the men's half of the doubleheader for you. Should be a good game. Both men's sides in the wings waiting to warm up. In the final breaths of this ball game, Peters with the 3 to make it a 7-point game. The Blues are going to have to foul here quickly. They haven't yet, and now they do as Mead gets it across half court. So she'll go to the line to shoot 2. And Mead with a chance to get to double figures now. Should be enough of a cushion for Linfield with 11 seconds left, but gotta knock these down late to really tie it up. Money on the first. Got them both. Lead is back to 9. Ferenz still has one more timeout left. We apologize for the technical difficulties coming back from that break late, missing the final 11 seconds of the game, but the Wildcats do win 61-52, our final score over the Whitman Blues. We'll keep it here for the Farnham Electric post-game report, and Brian, first take a look at our Old Trapper Beef Jerky player of the game, where you called it early on with our player to watch, and that is going to be Eve Burke tonight. 15 points, 8 rebounds to lead the way. A balanced attack from Linfield in this one, but Eve Burke leads the way for Linfield for a huge victory, their first win over the Whitman Blues since January 2024.
Yeah, and we knew she could do it on both sides of the ball. We talked about it at the top of the air, but really putting it all together. And when the Wildcats needed her the most in the middle part of this game, she really showed up, and then in the later half really sealed it for herself here this evening.
So Eve Burke, your Old Trapper Beef Jerky player of the game. Taking a look at the team comparisons in this one, Wildcats end up shooting 41% from the field while holding Whitman to 40% from the field. Blues 4-13 from 3, 3 of those makes in the fourth quarter to try and claw back. Linfield just 5 of 19. Linfield did go 12 of 16 from the line, while Whitman just 8 of 10. Cats win on the glass 35-30. with 10 offensive rebounds leading to 16 second chance points. Linfield forces 14 Whitman turnovers tonight, leading to 12 points, as well as outscoring them in the paint 32-24. Linfield, looked like going to be a very even matchup, and through that first half, and credit to Whitman in the fourth quarter trying to claw back, but Linfield showing in the second half probably the team to beat in the Northwest Conference. We've been speculating at that all season so far through Northwest Conference, but some real evidence now after beating Whitman by 9.
Yeah, absolutely. Whitman essentially left their offense in Walla Walla for that middle part of this game, but really applause to them to be able to come back and make it interesting in the fourth, but really doing what they need to do, the Wildcats did, to put this one away, and a huge win for them here at home.
That'll pretty much do it for us tonight. We got the men's game coming up in about 20 minutes for you here on the LSN on Flow Sports. Once again, your final score of the women's half of our doubleheader, Linfield 61, Whitman 52, as the Wildcats improve to 2-0 in conference play. They'll be back tomorrow night to take on Whitworth at 3 o'clock here in McMinnville. This is Joe Stewart. Thank you for joining us. Signing off for Brian Kites and all of us here in McMinnville, reminding you that today, like every day, is a great day to be a Wildcat.
Athletics webcast is being brought. Today's Linfield Athletics webcast is being brought to you by our many fine community partners, including Imbold Credit Union and Pacific Office Automation, Farnham Electric and Les Schwab Tires, Old Trapper Beef Jerky and Willamette Valley Medical Center, By Oregon Mutual, Rock of Ages Retirement Community, and Quail Custom Homes. Dutch Bros, Muchas Gracias, and Marsh McLennan Insurance. Auto Parts, Firehouse Subs, and 3 Point Brand Management. Oddmo's Pizza and Federated Insurance. Sport Clips, Textile Graphics, and Giraldi's East Coast Deli. And by Hangry's Burgers and Fries and Marjorie House Memory Care. By Trek Physical Therapy and by Botton's Equipment and Event Rental. Linfield University Athletics broadcast are a production of the Linfield Sports Network and delivered to you live on Flow Sports.